Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. As you know, I love math, I love calculating stuff, and one of the things I've been very interested in is the exact difference in load times between the three next generation consoles, the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S, and X, when it comes to Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Keep in mind that this is not optimized for these new systems, this is just brute force power versus back compatibility. Looking online, there's a lot of comparisons between the boot time from cold boot and also starting a new game, but not a lot of actual very precise data when it comes to quest loading. Now, I just want to put this out here, disclaimer, all three of these load incredibly fast, much faster than the previous generation, so in my eyes, all three are winners. We're just trying to determine who the winner of the winners is. Okay, in order to get very accurate measurements, here are the criteria. We're doing this test in offline mode only so that there's no variance between the connection speed of PlayStation Network versus Xbox Live. We're starting from the Celiana Gathering Hall, and we're doing all three of these in 4K HDR mode. And I have very precise ways that I'm counting the frames here. When you take on a quest, there is a little blue animation that starts up here when it says quest start. This is very consistent against all, so that's going to be our starting frame. And our stopping frame is going to be the very last black frame before we see anything of the quest being loaded in. And finally at the end, I am going to put in 3 seconds, not counted, of footage just so we don't have an abrupt end, and you can actually see that the loading has stopped. Test number 1, loading into a Coral Highlands quest. Okay, so here are the results. The Xbox Series X takes the winner with 9 seconds and 36 ticks, a tick being 1/60th of a second. Series S is 11 seconds and 36 ticks, and the PlayStation 5 is 18 seconds and 55 ticks. One thing I want to note here though is that a lot of the load time here is at the front end. During that front end, you can eat meals, you can check your armor, you can, restock your items. There's a lot of stuff that goes on after you accept a quest before you can load into it. So that time is kind of not really as important as the second loading time. So essentially what you're going to feel like is that this quest will load in 2 seconds on the Xbox and a little under 4 seconds on the PlayStation 4. Very fast times indeed. Test number 2, loading into a quest in the Horfrost Reach. Okay, and here is our results. The Xbox Series X coming in at 19 seconds and 11 ticks, Series S with 20 seconds and 4 ticks, and the PlayStation 5 at 29 seconds and 32 ticks. Looking at just the back half load, when you go to black and it loads, we've got 326 on the X, 3.48 on the S, and 5 seconds and 13 ticks on the PlayStation 5. Again, very good times. Anything like 5-second load time, come on, like that's crazy. So very impressed, especially at how well the Series S keeps up to the Series X considering the price difference. And for our final test is loading into the Guiding Lands, not a specific quest. Now for the Guiding Lands, there really isn't any preload before you go out. It's just one very big long load screen, which is why it feels so long. So I'm just going to count the overall load time. So on the Series X, it's 16 seconds and 16 ticks. Series S 18 seconds and 31 ticks, and PlayStation 5 at 34 seconds and 3 ticks. So I'm actually a little bit disappointed at the PlayStation 5, but that being said, we're coming off of a generation where the Xboxes, the PlayStations, unless you put an SSD in it, we're looking at like 70 seconds or longer load times. It was really bad. So yeah, 30 seconds is still pretty good in my book. I don't know whether or not Capcom would actually spend the money to enhance these for the next generation consoles. I have my doubts that they would, because I don't think they would get a lot of sales to compensate for the work that development would cost. But just brute force and the power of these machines alone, we're seeing absolutely fantastic results. So if you're a heavy player of Monster Hunter Iceborne or thinking about starting to play it, then obviously playing on a next generation console, no matter which one, is going to be a great investment. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not take this as like a console war thing. This is not a competition, like who's a loser, who's a winner. All three of these consoles are fantastic. So very impressive times. It's just very interesting to see them sort of neck to neck, side by side. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a comment down below if you have any other input on if you have it on PlayStation or Xbox. And until next time, happy hunting.